Hey guys, how's it going? So for those of you that have been following the channel, you know that I live in Monroe County, Michigan, and for a couple months now we've been fighting to make Monroe County a 2A sanctuary county. And this started off with Greg Moore Jr., County Commissioner, and I did a video with him over 2 months ago. And you can go back and check the playlist if you're not familiar with this, but this is the final video I'm going to need to do on this because I am very pleased to announce that yesterday, February 18th, 2020, Monroe County became a 2A sanctuary county. This passed. I'm just going to cut right to the chase, but for those of you that want to go through and see this final meeting on this resolution, I'm going to include relevant clips of it. You're going to hear the board members talk about it a little bit, the commissioners vote, and you're going to hear from a couple people, that live in the community and what they had to say about it. So I'm really happy. I woke up this morning with a smile on my face, and this is great. Yes, I realize this is just a small step, and our fight to keep our Second Amendment, our God-given rights alive, has just started. But this resolution that passed is a real resolution, and this is a good resolution. And you're going to hear the chairman read it here in this video in just a little bit. But this resolution has some teeth in it. It has some specific things in it that actually matter. And I would note that it lists all of the documented reasons why the Second Amendment needs to be affirmed and upheld. But this resolution also clearly states that the Monroe County Commissioners are not going to provide any funds. And it says right here, nor shall this board appropriate any funds to aid in the unnecessary and unconstitutional restrictions of rights under the Second Amendment, nor shall the board appropriate any funds for enforcement of unconstitutional laws against the people of Monroe County. And yes, Monroe County has its own elected sheriff. However, the sheriff does go to these county commissioners to get his budget every year. So kind of like how our House of Representatives nationally has the power of the purse, the Monroe County Board of Commissioners have the power of the purse. So I understand that, again, this isn't the only thing we need to do, but this is a huge, huge step. Because this actually makes it where they're going to defund or not appropriate funds for any kind of gun grabbing measures, things that would be unconstitutional and in the face of the Second Amendment and our God-given rights. And here's the other thing that this does. By us passing this resolution and becoming a sanctuary county or a pro-Second Amendment county, whatever you want to call it, they mean the same thing, right? It says right here that it is further resolved that the Board of Commissioners direct its staff to forward a copy of this resolution to every Michigan Board of County Commissioners, the Michigan State Legislature, House of Representatives, and State Senate, the Governor of Michigan, and all Michigan U.S. Congressional Representatives. So, the Monroe County Commissioners are willing to help any other county who's fighting for Second Amendment sanctuary or pro-2A resolutions. They're going to be forwarding this resolution so that your county commissioners can see it. It'll also encourage your county commissioners in the other counties of Michigan that, hey, Monroe County just passed it. It's reasonable. It's proper. It's necessary. We can too. And it's also telling people like the anti-gun governor in Michigan that, hey, on the county level, Monroe County is not going to go with some of your things that you want that are clearly in the face of the Second Amendment and our rights. It also lets people at the national level know who are represented in Michigan and Washington, D.C. It's also, again, letting our House and state representatives and our senators, letting them know where Monroe County stands. So there's a lot to this, guys. There's a lot to this. If anyone needs a copy of this, let me know and I can email it to you. But again, you're going to hear the chairman of the Board of Commissioners read this in just a little bit. But this is great, great news, guys. It's okay for us to be optimistic sometimes. I know there's a lot going on, and I'm sure there's going to be people in the comments saying, who cares about this resolution? They're still coming for your guns. I get it, guys. It's never going to be over. And anytime I do a gun rights video, I always let you guys know we need to fight these battles one at a time. And that, yeah, it's never going to be over. We're always going to have to fight. And this is what it takes to be an American. Because freedom isn't free. And the Founding Fathers never said it was either. And I'm never going to tell you that it is. But we can be happy today in Monroe County, and I'm very happy. And I encourage all the other counties in the state of Michigan who are thinking about these resolutions, be strong, go in there, talk to these people, because this wasn't guaranteed to pass. Greg Moore Jr. started off with this. Very early on, Commissioner Dawn Asper got involved. She was very pro-resolution. And as I said in some of my previous videos, I just don't know where the other commissioners stand. I just don't know. I want to make them vote. I want to see where they stand. I was very pleased to find out that all of the county commissioners in Monroe County support the Second Amendment, and they believe in their oath that they took, and that in fact all 9 of them are true patriots. And God bless you, commissioners in Monroe County and the people in Monroe County, for standing up for what is right, what is just, and realizing that this is necessary in this day and age where our Second Amendment rights are under such an attack. And people like me and you and so many of you guys that I met that came to these meetings, we actually helped make this happen. I had county commissioners telling me that they weren't quite sure what the purpose of this was at first, but after they realized from the community, from all of us, what's going on here, they realized how necessary this was. Also, my friend Scott, he's the chairman of the Monroe County Division of Michigan for 2A sanctuary counties. He worked tirelessly on this. You're going to hear him speak a little bit later. He's a patriot, and someone that I'm honored to now call my friend. He worked so hard on this. So many people did. So many of you that took off work, even people that didn't even live in Monroe County, came to these meetings over the last month to show support and let the county commissioners know what the will of the people were, to try to, persuade or just to let them know exactly what's going on here. So, again, of course, I've thanked Commissioner Greg Moore Jr., and he's a good one. He's a really good one. And I thanked Commissioner Dawn Asper. She's a rock star. Love her to death. But you know what? All of these county commissioners are patriots. And I thank all of you, any of you who are watching, for listening to us, just listening to us. We were very polite to you. You were very polite to us. Yes, we got up there and we spoke sternly to you. And we just wanted you to vote. I didn't know where you stood, but now I do. And I'm proud to have all of you serving in Monroe County. And I thank you for your service. So I'd like to also thank the chairman of the Board of Commissioners, Henry Levens, the vice chairman, Jerry Oley, Commissioner David Hoffman, Commissioner Mark Brandt, Commissioner Dawn Asper, Commissioner George Jondro, Commissioner Jason Turner, Commissioner David Swartout, and Commissioner Greg Moore Jr. All of you are patriots. All of you are good people in my book. And we're going to hold you guys accountable, as you know. But you guys are doing good. And you guys recognize the threat to the Second Amendment. And I'm glad all of you are pro-gun. But most importantly, I'm just glad that you were willing to listen to people like me. Just little old me, just another resident in Monroe County. And dozens of other people who got up there and told you guys why we needed you to have all of our back. And the fact that you guys are Monroe County residents too. And that all of you cherish your Second Amendment rights and know they're under attack, and you're doing what you can as elected, representatives of the county, public servants, to keep the Second Amendment live and well in Monroe County. So God bless all of you. And for you guys watching, you guys are awesome. So much encouragement coming from, the people that watch my YouTube videos, fellow patriots, many of you who are now my friends that came in the comments, gave me encouragement. People even sending me tips for gas money, which wasn't necessary, but totally awesome. Just so many good people were a part of this, and I'm still smiling, guys. I'm trying to keep the smile off my face, but I just can't. So stay tuned if you want to hear more, and I'm going to show you kind of what went on throughout the rest of the meeting.
This takes us to the first installment of public comment this evening. We have a very robust resolutions, tributes, and presentations this evening. I would indicate that one of the items on for our agenda tonight is a resolution supporting the Second Amendment that has exited the agenda committee process and is on for deliberation tonight. I suspect without any additional fanfare. It's been 3 meetings in the works, so I just say that because we have had the loss of someone close to us in the funerals tonight. So if anyone wanted to speak, if they could keep their comments to 5 minutes. So with that, first public comment time.
Okay, so this time around, I was very brief, out of respect, and, just caring that these people had somebody close to them die, and they wanted to get to a funeral. And keep in mind, in all the other meetings, I had talked quite a bit. And just before this meeting started, I walked up to several of the commissioners and said, hey, is there anything else I can say to you guys during the public comment to convince you, or have you heard enough? And they said, no, we've already, pretty much made our decision, and that, yeah, we're good. Thank you so much for talking to us in the past. So I just wanted to be really brief out of respect to them and, their loved ones, and the person that they lost that they wanted to go to a funeral. So just being courteous because, hey, these are just regular people. As soon as they're done with the meeting, they were going to the funeral home. And I just wanted to thank you guys for putting the item on the agenda. And out of respect, the funeral that's going on tonight, that's all I had to say. So thank you for considering it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
All right, next are a couple Monroe County residents, patriots, people who were there to stand up for our God-given rights. I don't know these two gentlemen, but I sure am proud that they're living in my county, and it was good to see them there. And I liked their messages, so I thought I would include what they had to say.
I moved out of this town 14 years ago. I just recently moved back. Came back because this was home. But I want this to be my son's home. I want to teach my son and be able to have the opportunity to teach my son, my children, and my grandchildren the proper way to handle a firearm, to go to the trap club, to operate and handle a gun properly. This is not some game show. You can't go boom, boom, boom and be back to life. And this is what our problem is. We're not teaching our children the proper way of anything. What we're doing is our children, our grandchildren, are sitting in front of a TV, playing Atari, Nintendo, whatever they're called, because I don't watch games. I don't let my kids play the games. And what we're doing is we're teaching these kids very bad habits. This, I'm 100% for these guys. Because what this is doing is this is going to show Lansing that we're not going to back down. We have a governor right now that is doing everything in her power to destroy this state. I mean, she's already tried a 47% tax. Now she borrowed, what, $3.8 billion? That our grandchildren are going to pay that back. She's trying to add more gun laws into our state. What this is, it's not necessarily putting you guys on things what you're going to do. This is basically going to show our governor that Monroe County is going to back the Second Amendment up. Lansing or Wayne County is going to back it up. That each county is going to back us up. And just look at Virginia. We pushed and pushed and pushed Virginia to where they just backed down on a lot of the gun rights. And now they are seriously running for the hills because they are seeing that a lot of these people are going to lose their jobs in the next 2 years. I mean, we have our rights. And without the Second Amendment, we don't have nothing. We don't have a first, a second, a third. We have nothing without the second. And my biggest fear is I grew up in this town. I went to Monroe High. I used to carry a pocket knife in the school with no problem. We had a shotgun in the back of the truck as we go skeet shooting after school. We need to start teaching our children the proper way to handle a weapon. At the same time, we need to know that our town is backing us up. We don't need somebody to come and tell us that we're not allowed to have a 15-round clip or a magazine. My one gun holds 16 bullets. If in Virginia, I'm a felon now. We don't need this here in Michigan. Why is it? Because my gun comes factory with 16-round magazine, and I'm not allowed to own it. So what I'm asking for your board, for the whole board, is to please think this is not trying to put pressure on you and say what's legal and what's not legal. The biggest thing I feel is this to show Lansing that we're not going to back down, that the citizens of this great county is more important than some stupid laws that are against our Second Amendment. I mean, nothing's going to stop a bad guy with a gun except for a good guy with a gun. You know, telling us we can't have more than 10 rounds in our gun ain't going to stop a bad guy from shooting up a school.
I think, I don't mean to chill you, but we've got the impact
Okay.
comment, so I appreciate that, so.
All right, thank
So
you.
with that, is there anything,
I just found this out literally hours ago. I think this is great. I don't understand why would I want to give up my rights. Second Amendment, they're trying to take that away. This is an opportunity to keep it. I don't understand why somebody would be opposed to that. All I was.
thank you. And if there's no declared support for the Second Amendment in Monroe County, Michigan, the County Board of Commissioners of the County of Monroe, State of Michigan states, whereas the County Board of Commissioners of the County of Monroe, State of Michigan, pursuant to Michigan statute, is vested with the authority of administering the affairs of county government of Monroe County, Michigan, and is organized as a body corporate with powers and immunities provided by law, and to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of Monroe County and the employees of the Monroe County government. And whereas the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution, ratified in 1791 as part of the Bill of Rights, protects the right of the people to keep and bear arms. And whereas the United States Supreme Court in the District of Columbia v. Heller affirmed an individual right to possess a firearm unconnected with service in a militia and to use that firearm for traditionally lawful purposes such as self-defense within the home. And whereas the United States Supreme Court case of McDonald v. Chicago affirmed the right of an individual to keep and bear arms as protected under the Second Amendment is incorporated into the states by the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. And whereas the United States Supreme Court case of U.S. v. Miller opined that possession or use of a firearm that has some reasonable relationship to the preservation of a well-regulated militia is protected by the Second Amendment. And whereas Article 1, Section 6 of the Michigan Constitution of '63 provides that every person has the right to keep and bear arms in defense of himself and the state. And whereas it's the desire of this board to declare its support of the Second Amendment to protect the United States Constitution and to the provisions of the Michigan Constitution which protect Monroe County citizens' individual right to keep and bear arms. And whereas each Monroe County Commissioner is provided by Article 11, Section 1 of the Michigan Constitution, took an oath to support the United States Constitution and the Michigan Constitution. Now therefore, it is hereby resolved by the Monroe County Board of Commissioners, the Board of Commissioners declares through the adoption of this resolution their support for the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution and for Section 6 of Article 1 of the Michigan Constitution relating to the right of Monroe County citizens to keep and bear arms. It is further resolved that the County Board of Commissioners hereby declares its intent that public funds of the county not be used directly or indirectly to restrict the Second Amendment rights of the citizens of Monroe County to keep and bear arms, nor shall this board appropriate any funds to aid in the unnecessary and unconstitutional restriction of rights under the Second Amendment, nor shall this board appropriate any funds for enforcement of unconstitutional laws against the people of Monroe County. And it is further resolved that the Monroe County Board of Commissioners hereby declares its intent to oppose unconstitutional restrictions on the right to keep and bear arms through such lawful means as may be expedient. And it is further resolved that the Board of Commissioners directs its staff to forward a copy of this resolution to every Michigan Board of County Commissioners, the state legislature, House and Senate, the governor of Michigan, and all Michigan U.S. congressional representatives. This resolution was adopted by the Monroe County Board of Commissioners at a regular meeting held at the Monroe County Board Chambers, Monroe County Courthouse, Monroe County, Michigan, by affirmative vote of no less than 5 of its members of the County Board of Commissioners who are elected and serving on this 18th day of February 2020, offered by Commissioner Oley and supported by myself. I open up for deliberation, please.
Chairman Levens.
Yes.
Good evening, Chairman Levens and members of the board. Obviously, this has been a resolution that's been in front of us for the last few weeks. It has brought a lot of challenges and differences of opinions. After carefully listening to all the commissioners and the public in the last few weeks, myself and the chairman presented this resolution for your consideration today. Prior to our Thursday agenda meeting, we had an opportunity to share it with all the commissioners and any of the public that was there as well. It allowed the commissioners to have some input on the matter at the agenda meeting. And while not every additional request was supported, certainly it provided a fair opportunity for the commissioners to review our proposal in advance and provide additional input. Took a lot of things in consideration here. a lot of points, pros and cons from our community, our citizens. Leadership felt that it was important to listen to all the commissioners, review past and present resolutions as well. However, we feel that this resolution here is an opportunity to bring together a closer outcome. Having served on this board for well over 20 years, my chairman being here the second longest length commissioner, it was important for us to reach a bipartisan compromise that could bring everything together as a team, since this issue was first brought several weeks ago. I think the resolution has a strong chance of being successful. It may not be what everybody wanted. Certainly everybody had an opportunity to provide their input. So it's before your consideration tonight.
Additional comments?
Yes, I would like to say that I am really pleased with what we deliberated on in terms of this resolution. I know a lot of people have said that they didn't think we needed a resolution, but I think it's very important for the residents of Monroe County to know that our oath really means something, because around the country a lot of people take oaths and they don't really live up to them. And so that was important to us. We had one comment where it was like we were actually overriding the public on this, or going above your heads, and we're doing exactly the opposite. We are showing you that we have your back, and that we believe in the Second Amendment rights that you have, and that that this is a very important thing, that you know that. I really would like to thank Commissioner Moore for first having gotten the ball rolling, and then that every commissioner, it seemed like, got on board with learning more about what was going on in the state and what was going on in the nation, and understanding the importance that this was to our residents. So I am very, very much in support of this resolution, and I appreciate also the two of you accepting the 2 paragraphs that went into it on Thursday, so this really was a full board deliberation.
It was not a complete word-for-word resolution from the previous suggested resolutions. It clearly demonstrated the board's willingness to work together and compromise with all the commissioners here, and I'm looking forward for us to move forward. We have other issues that will be pending next.
Without anything further, I'll call the roll.
Commissioner Jonfro?
Yes.
Commissioner Turner?
Yes.
Commissioner Oley?
Yes.
Commissioner Sporto?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Liebens?
Yes.
Commissioner Huffman?
Yes.
Commissioner Brandt?
Yes.
Commissioner Asper?
Yes.
Motion carried.
This takes us on now to finance. We have no further new business. This is our final component of public comment. I'm losing my power of speech and I'm being recorded, so we gotta get this done.
Yes, sir.
So this is Scott, who I mentioned earlier. He's the chairman of the Monroe County Division of Michigan for 2A Sanctuary Counties. And Michigan for 2A Sanctuary Counties rocks. I appreciate everything that you all are doing, including me being a part of the movement myself. I'm also a member of that Facebook page. And thanks again, Scott. You worked really hard on this. You've been a gentleman the whole time, a class act. You showed up to many of the meetings. You showed up to the agenda meeting just before this one, and you worked your butt off, man, and I thank you for it. And the rest of us in Monroe County and the state of Michigan do. So here's Scott, just like I said, being the classy guy he is, and just thanking the county commissioners for talking to us, dealing with us, and ultimately standing up for Second Amendment rights in Monroe County, Michigan.
Monroe County District 2. A few weeks ago, I got kind of thrown into this thing. Monroe County Michigan for 2A sanctuary counties, and got put in as Monroe County chairman for this. Been talking with all of you for 3 weeks. I've appreciated all the input. I'd like to personally thank the board for voting on this resolution. Its adoption shows Monroe County's stance to the entire state and sets an example that the remaining counties of Michigan will hopefully follow. Monroe County is now the 14th county to adopt a Second Amendment resolution in the state in the term of somewhere around 16 days. We had some back and forth debates over use of the word sanctuary, which was understandable. But as our members look at this, this resolution clearly defines to us what we feel a sanctuary is. Michigan for 2A Sanctuary Counties appreciates the drive and flexibility the board has shown to get an acceptable resolution negotiated and passed. I really enjoyed speaking with everybody on this, and the oddball text messages and phone calls and general oddities of communication. The subject was uncomfortable, but it was unfortunately very necessary. Thank you to the commissioners and all the public that got involved. This is how, by working together, we can protect all of our constitutional rights by taking this at your county level. Talk to your people, talk to your commissioners. They'll listen. Thank you.
All right, well, that's it. Monroe County, Michigan is now yet another pro-Second Amendment or 2A sanctuary county in Michigan. And for those of you who have already passed this, you guys are awesome. I'm so glad to stand with the other counties who are supporting the Second Amendment. For those of you that are still fighting for this, I know it's a struggle in many of your counties. I will try to help whoever I can get your resolutions passed. This resolution is getting sent to all of your county boards of commissioners so that they can look at it to offer encouragement to them. So God bless the rest of the people in the state of Michigan, Monroe County, all of the counties. We need to get this passed in as many counties as possible, and the work's just getting started. But this is a happy day for Monroe County. So proud to stand with the fellow residents who fought for what was right. And again, thank you to the Board of Commissioners, all of you, who I personally acknowledged earlier in this video. Glad to have you in my county. Glad to have you representing me. And so happy that you stand for the Second Amendment and will not let it be infringed in Monroe County. Alright guys, it's been fun doing these videos. Plenty more videos to come on so many other things, and probably more videos coming very soon offering support for other counties in the state of Michigan. I've had a blast hanging out with the county commissioners and all of you guys, and yeah, I'm still smiling guys. This was good. Alright, thanks for watching and have a good one.